I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Another character exposed in the Naziah Harris case. Where is Naziah Harris? Could she be alive? Is she deceased? Did she outsmart her ops? Who and what roles did all of these people play in the disappearance and allegedly unaliving of Naziah Harris? Let me welcome my Facebook family and friends. Salute to my moderators. Salute to the chat. Salute to the replay gang. Let me read my copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I will come down to the chat. Give me a minute. I will be coming down to the chat. And this character that we're going to talk about in this demonstration, Ms. Parker will be interviewing him this Wednesday. So make sure everybody pull up on Ms. Parker this Wednesday for her interview with this character. Now, this character goes by the name of Kenneth Grier. All right. Now, it's a lot surrounding this character. All right. The first time that I heard anything about this character was on 7 Miles Radio. Now, he didn't have a name, but Mark D on 7 Miles Radio, he mentioned that there was a 40-year-old autistic man that touched Naziah Harris. So that's the first time that I heard anything about him. So I was under the impression that that 40-year-old autistic man was the evangelist Kenneth L. Mitchell. When Miss Parker interviewed the evangelist Kenneth L. Mitchell, he said it wasn't him. He gave us a name to the person that allegedly, I gotta say allegedly, he gave us the name to the 40-year-old autistic man that allegedly touched Naziah Harris. And this is the gentleman. This is Kenneth Grier. He also goes by the name of Donnell Grier. So if anyone is wondering who was the 40-year-old man that Mark D spoke on, who is this Kenneth Grier that evangelist Kenneth spoke on? Well, here he is right now, y'all. Here he is right now. Of course, I've done my homework on him. And I'll say once again, Miss Parker is going to interview him. Miss Parker is going to interview him this Wednesday. So make sure everybody get with Miss Parker to find out the time for her interview with him. All right. Let's chop this up. Allegedly, he has multiple SAs on his report card. He has multiple SAs of children on his report card. Now, when the allegedly incident happened with Naziah Harris, allegedly Miss Annette felt as though she didn't want to bring charges. And I believe, allegedly, the authorities felt as though because of his autistic, then they wasn't going to prosecute him. Whatever the reason or whatever the reasons are that he wasn't prosecuted, in my opinion, it's BS. It's BS. Whenever a child is taken advantage of, whenever a child is touched, no matter whom it is that touches that child, there should be some prosecution. Now, when it comes to the repercussions, when it comes to the penalty, okay, we could chop it up about that. We could say, well, you know, incarcerating an autistic man for up amount of years won't rehabilitate him. Or we could look at it and say, in this situation, why do he even get an opportunity to be rehabilitated? What about the victim? See, this is one of our biggest problems with this system. The victims of these crimes, they always seem to get pushed on the side. Their feelings doesn't matter. Nothing is taken in consideration with the victim, right? This is a pedo. Okay, now, I know you're watching, Darnell. You'll have your opportunity to clear all of this up when you interview Miss Parker. You'll have an opportunity to clear things up when Miss Parker interview you. But as of right now, allegedly, we're going to stick with you being the one that allegedly touched Naziah Harris. We heard the evangelist. Many of you don't believe nothing. Many of you don't believe nothing coming from the evangelist Kenneth L. Mitchell. I believe the majority of the things that the evangelist has said. I do. I believe that it's a strong possibility that he is in communication with Miss Annette, at least Miss Annette. I don't know about Shannon and Marquita, but I do believe that the evangelist is in communication with Miss Annette, and that's why he really didn't give us anything on Miss Annette. If y'all haven't heard, if y'all haven't seen that interview, make sure y'all go over to Miss Parker and check out the interview with Miss Parker, Talk with Prince, and the evangelist Kenneth L. Mitchell. I just think that, you know, he held back. I think that there were questions that was asked. He held back. However, he spoke on this gentleman right here. This is who he spoke on as far as being the 40-year-old man that touched Naziah Harris. The question was asked, did he see it? Was he there? He said no, because probably if I was there, then, you know, I would have dealt with him. Now, the evangelist, this is what I want you. And you could, you know, put it in the comment section. You could tell somebody to get this answer to me. But what I want to know from the evangelist, Kenneth I want to know, why did you remain in that relationship with this pedophile? You knew that he was a known pedophile. Why did you remain in the relationship with him? That's my only question that I had for the evangelist. All right. Because according to the evangelist, he was in a committed relationship with Kenneth Grier. He stated that his relationship with Kenneth was before his relationship with Florentino. Kenneth Grier, and the evangelist, y'all have a lot of explaining to do. Y'all have a lot of explaining to do, because I still ask, where are the men at? Now, we know that Kenneth, according to the evangelist Kenneth, going off your words, you was around. You was around the time Jarvis was around. You may not have been in the house all of the time, but you was around. You knew about Jarvis. You knew what was on Jarvis's report card, right? Florentino, use another one. You knew what was on Jarvis's report card. And to me, it doesn't make a difference what community you belong to. Appreciate you joining the platform. Appreciate you joining the platform, Akira. It doesn't make a difference what community you are a part of, because I know transformers. I know transformers that are males. I know that they would have dealt with Jarvis. This is a serious, serious, serious matter. And I don't want nobody to think for 1 second that we are going to play with you. You touch a child, it's like you touching us. You touch a child, that's the worstest thing that you can do. Because if you do something to a man, you know, a man, he can probably let some things slide. But when you touch a child, that's the lowest form of disrespect that anybody can have for God's creation. Now, the evangelist, you are a man of the cloth. Now, some might say, Shank, he has to prove to us that he's an actual evangelist. All right. But right now, I want to talk to you because you go by the title of an evangelist. Touching children is a negative. You stayed with him. You stayed with him. You was in a committed relationship with him, knowing those SAs was on his report card. I'm going to play just a little clip of this video, and you all can hear his voice. You all can get an opportunity to hear from the 40-year-old autistic man that allegedly touched Naziah Harris.
Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing this afternoon? Hope y'all enjoying y'all day. Stay cool because it's hot outside. Hope y'all enjoying y'all day.
I will take some comments from the chat. Kara says, my heart hurts for Naziah Harris. That grandmother didn't care. I think they were sex trafficking kids to the pedo. Appreciate you joining the platform, Angelique. Appreciate you joining the platform, Angelique. Incognito says, he's scaring me. Now, if he's scaring you and if he's scaring other people, can you imagine how he scared Naziah Harris? Ashley dropped the B. Isha says, wait a minute. Salute, Miss Wisher Ninja Wood. Thankful says, this so sad. Chen says, oh my God, he needs his, you know what, taken, autistic or not. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. But they let this slide and they swept this up under the rug. That's what they done. Capricorn Chronicles says, yuck. Thankful says, hey, Miss Wish. Isha says, he looks and sounds as if he needs a support person. Lovey says, I need a drink now. Somebody tell me, why did they dislike Naziah Harris that much? What did Naziah Harris do to Miss Annette, Shannon, and Marquita that allowed them to dislike this little girl? PJ says, KM and GKG, the pot can't call the kettle black. Gina says, oh my God, all these characters looks like they're gone with the wind. Yeah, salute Bird. Salute Miss Parker. Miss Wishful says, thankful. Yolanda says he needs to be in jail. Exactly. Incognito says, why was he even left alone with any kid? All facts. All facts. This is sick. And the evangelist dated this man. That's what I'm talking about, Isha. Tanya says he got enough sense to know not to touch a child. Facts. 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 He knew what he was doing, and he knew right from wrong. Well, this is the alleged 40-year-old autistic man that 7 Miles Mark D spoke about. Miss Wisher Ninja Wood says under the jail. Regina says looks creepy with a capital K. Please tell he in jail. Nah, they swept it up. They swept it up under the rug. No charges was pressed. They didn't press no charges against him. None. None. In my opinion, if Jarvis is locked up and charged with the SA and the unaliving of Naziah, he should be locked up and charged with the SA on Naziah as well. She's a child. She was a child. Whatever happened to protecting the children? Salute, Boo Banger. Salute. Well, this is him, everybody. Allegedly. Now, he's going to be on Miss Parker's platform on Wednesday. He said that he wants to come because he said that the evangelist is lying on him. And so he wants to come on Miss Parker's platform to clear up his name. It's sad. It's sad. is sad. It's a sad day in the neighborhood. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link, and I only want the evangelist Kenneth to pull up, or Kenneth Grier, aka Donnell Grier. I only want those two to pull up. So evangelist Kenneth, if you're watching, hit the StreamYard link. Come on up on the panel with me. Man to man. Donnell, Kenneth Grier, if you're watching, click on the link, the blue StreamYard link. Come on up here and talk to me man to man. It's beyond sad. It's beyond sad that Naziah Harris had to experience this. Father wasn't active in her life. It was said that he would come around. I believe he said he would come around here and there, but he wasn't active in her life. Her mother wasn't active in her life. See, this is why it's so important. This is why it's so important that if we have children, to be active in their lives. And this is why it's so important for both mom and dad to co-parent. I know that there are a lot of children that has mom and dads that are not together. In some cases, it do make it hard for both parents to be active. But as a mother and as a father, y'all have to both. It's not up to the father. It's not up to the mother. It's up to both parents, because it took both parents to lay down and make that child. So it's up to both parents, okay, to communicate with each other, because the child needs both parents. Now, there are cases where fathers are raising their children alone, and the fathers are doing a great job. There are cases where mothers are raising the children alone, and the mother is doing a fine job. So a big shout out to all single fathers that are raising their children. A big shout out to all single mothers that are raising their children. But we want to strengthen the family unit. And all I'm saying to everybody, including myself, we all have to co-parent together. So if you got a child, reach out to the absent parent and try to make things better. All right? Because as a single father, you might not know the absent mother's story. She might be going through something, and she just might need just a little assistance. That's all. I'm not saying be a fool for the absent mother, but she might be going through something, right? Vice versa for the single mothers. If the father is not around, reach out to the father. You don't know what that father is going through. You just don't know. And I know, I don't need no man to help me raise my child. I get all of that. But I believe that even though you may not need a man to help you raise that child, but I do believe that that child deserves to have her father in her life, vice versa for the man. I don't need no woman. I don't need the mother to help me reach out to the mother. All right. But back to Naziah Harris. And I'm going to ask a question. Where is Naziah Harris? This should be a huge lesson to people not to be having babies they aren't able to be there for. Exactly. It takes a village. And I don't mean to skip over no comments. I'm just catching up on them. Salute, Noah. I just finished up Miss Parker's show since I fell asleep. Miss Parker, I had my notes. All right. Lovey says IKTR. Regina says true. I need the laugh. Dolly says salute, Dolly. Salute. Noah says, I'm glad I caught Shank Rock's show. I'm glad that you caught it too, Noah. Salute, Sagitt's. Salute, Sagitt's. Salute, Michelle. Salute, Michelle. Where is Naziah Harris? Now, the evangelist Kenneth, he feels as though Naziah Harris is still alive. He feels as though Naziah Harris outsmarted her ops. My opinion, and it's just my opinion, it sounds good. It sounds good. But we got to keep in mind, Naziah Harris is 13 years old. A 13-year-old doesn't have that type of mentality to pull off, not unless she had help. Now, I will take that. And I do believe the evangelist mentioned something about somebody helping her. All right. Who helped Naziah Harris escape? Was it Jarvis? Is this why Jarvis is keeping quiet? Is it Jarvis that helped her escape? See, now the emotions of the people that has been following this case, the emotions are running high. But let me tell everybody that's tuned into this case, as content creators, we do explore the horizon, meaning we allow all of the possibilities. Some content creators don't, some do. But the majority of us, including myself, we do entertain all of the possibilities. And I know y'all emotions are running high. I read the comments and I know. But the evangelist, Kenneth, he could be onto something. He could be spoon feeding us. He could be just feeding us just enough to really make us go deeper down that rabbit hole. I will say that. Appreciate the new membership to the channel, Kristen. Because one thing we all know for sure, it's bigger than Jarvis. We know it's bigger than Jarvis. It's bigger than Jarvis. Now, I don't want to get too far away from this dude. Why wasn't Naziah Harris protected? Why wasn't Naziah Harris protected? All of these pedophiles were allowed to be around Naziah Harris. All these different characters are coming out. What is really going on, y'all? What is really going on? Was Shannon's envy, was Shannon's jealousy that deep? Was it that deep that she allowed it? Did it go too far? Did Jarvis attempt a back alley mechanic abortion on Naziah Harris, and it went too far to the left? You got the judge, you got the prosecutor. That's where we start at. That's where we start at. Is what the judge and the prosecutor say, is it enough evidence? Is it enough evidence? Because as I read the Michigan law, as far as charging someone with the M without a body, you can do that. You can do that. Now, do the text messages, do the Google search. Now, in the Google search, Jarvis was looking up antifreeze, how to abort a child. But I don't believe in that Google search. Jarvis was searching for anything dealing with the unaliving of somebody. Can anybody remember whether or not in Jarvis's Google search, in his Google search engine, was he looking up anything on how to unalive a person? Let me come out here. Justina, he the 40-year-old guy that touched Naziah, because they was, you know what, her, baby girl, you are so right. Do you think it's because she not a blood grandchild that Great Ape and the Mogilla gorilla twins didn't care, but protected their own for safety? But, well, let me just say this, y'all. Let me just say this. Now, I did ask Kenya. I asked Roxy's mother, Kenya, was Naziah, was that Annette's biological child? Kenya said yes. I do believe the evangelist said the same thing to Miss Parker. I'm not sure. But I do believe that Naziah is Miss Annette's blood granddaughter. But I know where you're going at. Let me try to keep up with the chat. I know where you're going at. Now it could have been that because her mother, lady, wasn't in the house, and it could have been because Naziah wasn't Shannon's or Marquita's daughter. They could have felt some kind of way. Let me catch the chat. You drink antifreeze, you done. So do you think that that's the nail in the coffin for the search engine? Could that be the nail in the coffin? Breezy says, no, he wasn't. He was looking up antifreeze and abortions. Only how to abort. Salute, Betty. I would have searched antifreeze if someone said it and I didn't believe it. Gorilla Wits and her baby Silverback. So is Lady that the one that she had when she was 11? I think is Lady the oldest. Is Lady the oldest? I think that because of how to feeling towards the mom, she took it out on Naziah. Right. So salute virtuous. Straight facts, antifreeze is deadly. I've seen cats that have drank antifreeze. It's a terrible death. You can't do nothing for them. It's poison. I see you, Top Flight. Right, because 1 minute they saying she not her daughter, and then she is her daughter. Okay, so lady is the oldest daughter of Miss Annette. Now, let me get back to the 40-year-old for those that just pulled up. Let me just do a brief recap. All right. This is just a brief recap for those that just pulled up. They were having these babies, earning money, and not for cleaning the garage. They all need to be charged. Even lady, she was around when that baby went missing. Yes, this is why we going on members only, child. Okay. So what does antifreeze do to a human if given too much? I believe it'll take you out. Yes, thanks for recap. Salute 80s baby. Salute 80s baby. And can I get everybody to wish, not this 80s baby, not 80s baby 717, but can I get everybody to wish my moderator 80s baby, she's Miss Parker's moderator as well. Can I get everybody to wish 80s baby a happy birthday? Today's her birthday. So can I get some balloons, some birthday cakes, ice cream, and other things for 80s baby? If you're watching 80s baby, happy birthday. And we can't wait to have you back. So, and I'm going to take this last one. I'm going to recap. So for, in my thinking, the only way this hatred will stop is there needs to a conscious decision to say, I am not going to behave like this or have my child go through this. All right. So now 7 Miles Radio, Mark D, he mentioned a 40-year-old autistic man that touched Naziah Harris, right? He didn't give us the name, but he mentioned a 40-year-old autistic man touched Naziah. I thought that it was the evangelist. I thought it was him. So I've done a demonstration. Could this be the 40-year-old man that touched Naziah Harris? Now, when Miss Parker interviewed the evangelist Kenneth, he claimed that allegedly this man right here, and this man goes by the name of Kenneth Grier, aka Donnell Grier. He said, this is the guy that allegedly touched Naziah Harris. See, that's why we say it's bigger than Jarvis. Jarvis wasn't the only one. It's bigger than Jarvis. Jarvis is just the scapegoat. Now, these two were in a committed relationship. All right. This is the evangelist. That's the evangelist Kenneth. Right? Right? Now, he was in a committed relationship with this one. This is the 40-year-old autistic man that allegedly touched Naziah. He goes by the name of Kenneth also. So, for the evangelist, you knew what was on his report card. It's no way you could get around it. It's no way you knew what was on his report card, but you still stayed with him. Now, according to, let's give some timestamps. According to the evangelist Kenneth, those two was in the committed relationship between the years of 2006 and 2009, right? What year was Naziah born? Naziah 24. So I believe Naziah born 2010 or 2011. what year was Naziah Harris born? 2010 or 2011? But after he was in a committed relationship, after the evangelist was in a committed relationship with Kenneth Grier, then he met, and I do believe I have a picture, and I want to show this picture, y'all. Give me a second. After he got out of the relationship with him, and he looks young. Now, okay, so Naziah was born, okay, September 16th, 2010. So she was born right after the evangelist got out of the relationship with him, right? Now, salute Detroit, salute Detroit. Shout out to everybody from Detroit. Shout out to all my people from Detroit. Now, here's another question. Here's another question. When, and this is for you, evangelists, when was it alleged that this man touched Naziah? What was the dates? What was the dates? Right? What was the dates? You was in a relationship with him. Give me a minute because I want to put this picture up of Kenneth, Miss Annette, and I do believe Florentino. I mean, is it, y'all let me know something. Is it a thing where as though older men and women, because we got to keep in mind when Jarvis was 13, allegedly he was SA'd by an older woman. So what is it with older men and older women sleeping with these kids? What is it with that? Let me see if I can upload this picture. Give me a minute. I think I still got it. All right, I got it. Evangelist Kenneth, you got a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions for you. Strong possibility, Blue Devil. Strong possibility. I'm coming, y'all. All right. Let's see what we have here. Now, who's on this picture? Y'all tell me who's on this picture. I believe in the middle we have none other than Miss Annette. I believe we have in the blue hoodie Florentino. I believe we have in the black shirt the evangelist Kenneth. My. Florentino looks very young. I could be wrong. Florentino looks like he could be anywhere between the age of 14, 15, or maybe 16. Correct. A baby. Now, I do believe, you could correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe that the evangelist said he met Florentino on some kind of app, right? Is everybody with me? I do believe on Miss Parker's panel, he said he met Florentino on some kind of app. Well, I don't believe a chat line. Appreciate that, Capricorn Chronicles. He met Florentino on the chat line. When? How old was Florentino when you met him? Evangelist, you've been knowing Florentino. You've been around Florentino. And it could be true what Kenya said, that he was a little boy. And it could be true when Kenya said that one of the children said that the evangelist, you know what, to Florentino. What is really going on? Let me jump to the chat, y'all. Let me jump to the chat. Noah says he did say that. Boobanger says looks between 15, 16 years old. Whitney says, give me a minute, y'all. Whitney says Kenya said he was a little boy. Betty says yes. Amma says he does look young. Salute, Alicia. Salute, salute. Foxy says he looks very young. The deeper you look into them. She couldn't have done anything. They raised her. That photo gives me the creeps. Shaking my you know what head. I pray God breaks this generational curse with these children, because there are so many children in that family that have been abused. This is ridiculous. So what was he doing on that chat line? I believe that. It's too much. He met him on a you know what website. He met him on a Transformer website. Salute, Leslie. Angelique says exactly. Isn't he 33 now? Mari says big, fat, you know what. Thankful says dang, dang, dang. He looks 13 years old. So what's really good, Evangelist Kenneth? What's really good? You got some explanations to do. This is a little boy. Now, did you meet him on the chat line when he was 12, 13, 14? And did Miss Annette co-sign for y'all relationship? Right? Which one is it? Did you meet him on the chat line and then Miss Annette co-signed? She gave you the green light to be in this relationship with this little boy. Y'all disgust me. Y'all disgust me. Y'all disgust me. It's people like y'all that give good church folks a bad name. It ain't all church folks, but it's people like them that give good church folks a bad name. We see it all the time. And this is why many people don't want to have anything to do with church. Can you blame them? I mean, can you blame them? But this is why many people walk away from the church. A few bad apples. A few bad apples. make it bad. But this is the alleged 40-year-old autistic man. We first heard about it, 7 Miles Radio. He spoke on the 40-year-old autistic man that touched Naziah, correct? When I brought the evangelist Kenneth to the board, and he went over there with Miss Parker, he gave us the name, right? And to put the icing on the cake, this man right here, the 40-year-old autistic man, Kenneth Grier, reached out to Miss Parker and told Miss Parker that the evangelist is lying and he want to tell his side. So that's what we're going to wait on, because he do have a side to tell. He do have a side to tell. And please, please listen to Miss Parker's instructions, y'all. It's going to be on Miss Parker's platform. Miss Parker got the right to run her platform how she wants to run her platform. Please listen to Miss Parker's instructions. And please abide by Miss Parker's instructions, y'all. Because this is serious business. This is serious business. And I'm sure all of y'all, we don't play around when it's kids. We just don't. Like I said, we can do all of the above. We can whoop-de-whoop, bang, bang, bang. But when it comes to children, when it comes to what was done to Naziah Harris, we ain't gonna entertain. We're gonna stand up. We're gonna stand up. And we want everybody to be known. We want it to be known to everybody. You disrespect a child. You mistreat a child. And we don't care what nationality that child is. So don't get it twisted. You disrespect, you harm a child, we coming for you. We coming for you. So if you ain't right with the Lord, and I don't know, if you ain't right with the Lord, get right with the Lord. Ask the Lord for forgiveness. Ask the Lord to heal you. Ask the Lord to get the demons out of you. Ask the Lord to get rid of the temptations. But only you can do that. Only you can do that. Because we can't have you running around here doing this to children. And see, you do it once, you're going to do it twice. And that's why they should have nipped it in the bud, and he should have been prosecuted. He should have been prosecuted. You ain't do nothing to him. What you think was going through his mind? I got away with it. I'm going to do it again. I know plenty men and women, children that are autistic, that never done that. So we got to stop blaming. We got to stop blaming people's poor decisions on the devil, God, a mental disorder, a handicap. We got to stop blaming it on that. We all know right from wrong. We all know right from wrong. If we come from God. Because if we come from God, that's what God gave us. He gave us common sense. He gave us 5 senses. He gave us certain things to be able to live a successful life. He gave us a will. He gave us a brain. He knew what he was doing. Do I feel sorry for him? How can I feel sorry for him? If it's anybody that I feel sorry for, it's Naziah. That's who I feel sorry for. Naziah. It's a cold world. It's a cold world. Who felt sorry for Naziah? They didn't feel sorry for. They didn't feel sorry for. So now, and I know many of you might get mad at me when I say what I'm about to say, but I got to say it. We really, really have to look at Jarvis. And I know many of us have been looking at it, but did they play Jarvis out of position? With all of these characters now being exposed, Frank was exposed, the evangelist was exposed, the 40-year-old autistic man, Kenneth Grier, has been exposed. Why only Jarvis locked up? Could, and I'm just asking, could one of them been the father of Naziah's unborn child? Right? Hit me up on Instagram, New York City. Hit me up on Instagram, Shank Rock. Shank Rock. SHANKROCK. Hit me up on Instagram and send that information to me, all right? And anybody else out there that have any information that y'all would like to send me, send it to my Instagram, Shank Rock. Shank Rock. They all got to get exposed. And if they're clean, they ain't going to have no problem coming forward proving that they did not have nothing to do with what happened to Naziah Harris. Y'all better start talking. Y'all better start talking. It's too many content creators that's on y'all heels. I ain't the only one. So don't think that if you try to shut me down, I ain't the only one that's on y'all heels. It's too many subscribers. It's too many people on social media that's on y'all heels. Because what y'all done was wrong. And I know y'all still continuing to do this BS because y'all ain't been caught. Jarvis is the scapegoat. So y'all gonna let Jarvis take the fall while y'all continue masquerading, while y'all continue with y'all sick thoughts. You're sick. You're sick. And you don't need to be in society. Somebody got to tell y'all that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. When I'm wrong, I got to pay the piper. I got to accept the repercussions when I'm wrong. I'm a man, and I'm going to accept the repercussions. I know right from wrong. Now, I could come up with a bunch of BS. I could tell y'all a whole lot of things. I can make up a whole lot of excuses on why I did it. But you only make an excuse when you get caught. Huh? as long as you getting away with it, you ain't gonna make up no excuses. You don't gotta make up no excuses. But the second you get caught, here come the excuses. He's an autistic man. He know right from wrong. He knew how to commit the SA towards Naziah Harris, allegedly. He knew that. Yes or no? Yes or no? He knew how to make a video. Listen to him. Listen.
Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing this afternoon? Hope y'all enjoying y'all day. Stay cool, because it's hot outside.
Stop right there. Good afternoon, everybody. Stay cool, because it's hot outside. Huh? He knew it was hot outside. He knew to make a video. Good afternoon, everybody. He knew to make that video. He knew to tell everybody to stay cool because it's hot outside. How would you feel if it was done to your daughter? How would you feel if Naziah Harris was your grandchild? How would you feel? See, it's all right when it ain't your child. It's all right when it ain't your loved one. It's all right. It was all right, Shannon and Marquita, because it ain't happened to y'all child. Or did it happen to y'all child? Did it happen to y'all child? Sick. He might have some sugar in his tank also. He was in a relationship with the evangelist. He got a lot of sugar in his tank. He was in a committed relationship with the evangelist Kenneth from 2006 to 2009. This is who he was in a relationship with. I can't sit back and let y'all do this, man. I can't. I can't. Other men might, other people might. I can't sit back and I don't say nothing. I don't try to raise some kind of way. I don't try to help. I can't do that. I can't do that. And sometimes I get put in situations because I'm always trying to help people. But you know what? When it's a child involved, hey, I take whatever come my way. If standing up for a child, whatever come my way, I take it. I'll worry about the repercussions later on. They know right from wrong. That's BS. I'm not going to hold y'all that much longer. Ms. Parker is going live. That's sad. He knew how to complete this. Exactly. You know what I mean? He knew how to complete it. Shank Rock, keep cooking. Appreciate you, Kristen. It did. He's a prime example of the denial in our community. There's nothing high functioning about this man. However, he can comprehend right from wrong. They should have held him accountable the first time. Facts. Facts. Even if they didn't send him to prison, even if they didn't send him to prison, even if they committed him to a psychic ward, but just to sweep it up under the rug, oh, we're not going to press charges on him because he's an autistic. Man, that's BS. I believe it was happening to more than Naziah. Strong possibility. Absolutely, you can't drink antifreeze and live. He needs to go down with the rest of them. Detroit police need to be ashamed of themselves. And I am from Flint, Michigan. Thank you, God, I got out. Shout out to Marianne representing Flint. But yeah, Detroit Police Department, they all need to go down. Yes, he does. He was in a transforming relationship with the man named Kenneth. Yes. It's always three sides to story, Shank. Exactly. Now, Miss Parker is going to have him on her show this Wednesday. Make sure everybody pull up for that interview. And I gotta say it again. Please listen to Miss Parker's instructions. Miss Parker runs her platform how she want to run her platform. You have to respect how she runs her platform. So just abide by Miss Parker's instructions when y'all go over there. The twins are the thoughts. I'm going to skip down off of these. How many kids been SA in that town? Also, the found from the hoodie. Oh, wow. I'm going to jump down, y'all. Yes, thankful. I see you. Salute, I see through you. Let me skip. Let me just swim through these comments to catch the chat. Just pulling up, Shank. Salute. Appreciate you. Yes, another character. This is the 40-year-old autistic man that touched Naziah Harris, James. This is the Kenneth Grier that the evangelist Kenneth Mitchell spoke about. This is him. Let me skip, y'all. Let me skip. You're welcome. Thank you, Tanya, for supporting everybody that's covering this case. How can she birth the baby and no DNC? We know she has to have a DNC done at any birth. Correct. Correct. Thumbs up. I'm going to let, okay. Appreciate the super sticker, Belinda. Think I got a membership. Appreciate the super sticker, Belinda. Appreciate the super sticker, Tanya. Think somebody else sent me something. Appreciate those super stickers. Let me come on down here. Can I get everybody to show I'm Just Saying VB? Can I get everybody to give I'm Just Saying VB a warm welcome? And all other newbies to the platform, let us know that you all are new. Let us all know that you are new so we can give you a warm welcome. And if you need to get in touch with me, hit me up on Instagram at Shank Rock. R.I.P. Eric Mays Flint. Sad, y'all. Sad. So now we have another character. We have another character to add to the case. I didn't make this up. I didn't make this up. Backtrack. Mark D's 40-year CPS. And you will hear Mark D on 7 Miles Radio. He mentions the 40-year-old autistic man that touched Naziah. I thought it was the evangelist, Kenneth, right? But the evangelist, Kenneth, says, nah, it's this guy. This guy. So I'll take a few more comments. I'll drop the link. If anybody want to come up on the panel, just be brief. I will drop the link. If anybody want to join me on the panel, be brief. And Miss Parker's voice, come heard. Come heard. Alma says that hairline is back there. Boy, yes, I want to roast. I want to roast y'all, but I won't. Talk to us, Miss Parker.
Salute, Shank. Salute, 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 salute to the Rock Squad. Salute to the Riders. Like I was saying before, Shank, it's always 3 to 4 sides to a story. You get what I'm saying? And I always tell my people to listen. Listen to understand and listen to dialogue, because it's gonna be a lot. And I got my answers, you know what I'm saying, without interviewing him. And I talked to him last night. So I got what I need to know and stuff. And you know, it's a lot. This story with Naziah is a lot. It's a long road. We still got a long road ahead, Shane. This is only the beginning with characters, you know. You gotta think who else is out there, who else is a part, what other monsters is it? You know what I'm saying? Some monsters are deceased and gone. We got Charles. He gone. We can't even get his story. And a lot of the skeletons, like Mocha was saying last night, are never gonna fall out the closet. There's gonna be some dark ones that still hang and lure in that house, lure within their souls and their trauma. But ain't gonna be no healing if it's not understanding, if it's not somebody being honest and truth's coming out. And a lot of this, the truth isn't coming out. And this is why generational curses keep going and going and going and going and going. And we'll be like, damn, it happened. This goes back a long ways on both sides. This ain't just the Harris house. You got to go back to Jarvis. Way before the 27-year-old woman touched him at the age of 13. Who else was touched? Who else did she touch? Because Jarvis had brothers. Who else was touched? Who started touching to even make it comfortable? Who had Jarvis doing such bad things that he turned out to be a menace of predatory monsters? To where he started harvesting his own children to be victims, to be predators, miniature predators. Dang. Hold on, sister. I'll call you right back. Hold on, sister. Give me a second. But to be miniature predators. You get what I'm saying? To be replicas of him in our society. And how many that we don't know of that he's harvested of his own seeds? How many other victims is it out there? Some traumatists. How many victims are missing and unalive? How deep does the rabbit hole go? You know, sometimes it's like the ocean. You can reach certain parts, but you can't cover the whole thing. It's impossible. For a reason. Caves. You can reach certain parts of a cave, but guess what? No machine, no technology can get you all the way in. So
that's deep.
But salute to you, Shank. Let me make this call. It might be him trying to get in touch with me to talk to me. And
okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Miss Parker. Shout out to Miss Parker and her hard work. Shout out to her riders. Shout out to all content creators and their subscribers. Shout out to my Rock Squad. We got to keep fighting, y'all. We got to keep fighting. If you got a social media platform, if you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, post. If you would like to make your own video with all of the information that's out here now, make a short 30-second video, a 45-second video, or share my content, share Miss Parker's content, share the other content creators that's in this sector, whichever content creator content that you please to share. But let's just keep fighting, and let's just keep standing up for the justice of these children. It ain't about Shankrock. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. It ain't about him. It ain't about her. It's about these children. Naziah could have been my daughter. Naziah could have been my granddaughter. Naziah could have been any one of y'all daughters or granddaughters. If it's nobody else that we fight for, at least fight for that child. At least fight for the child. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I will leave the chat running and y'all can hang around. Remember, pull up on Miss Parker. I believe Miss Parker is going live at 2 or maybe 2:30. Salute everybody. I will leave the chat running and y'all can hang around. Salute.